Most of us spend our lives protecting something we have never actually seen. We call it me, my identity, my personality, the person I believe myself to be. And when life begins to shake that sense of self, when fear appears, when the chest tightens, when the mind fills with restless thoughts, it can feel as though something deep inside us is under threat. When there is pain in the chest, eyes beginning to fill with tears, and confusion moving through the mind, the world can feel dark, heavy, and unfamiliar. Lost, disoriented. In those moments, it often feels as if something has gone wrong, as if we ourselves are somehow broken. But occasionally, right in the middle of that confusion, something unexpected appears. Not a solution that fixes everything, but a small opening, a moment of space, a quiet sense that perhaps there is another way to meet what we are experiencing. This is where the teachings of mindfulness and loving kindness begin. Mindfulness invites us to look honestly at experience, to notice what is happening without immediately judging it or pushing it away. Loving kindness adds something equally important, a sense of warmth, a willingness to meet even difficult experiences with gentleness instead of resistance. When these two qualities come together, awareness becomes something nurturing rather than harsh. We are no longer just watching ourselves suffer. We are holding that suffering with care. And when we begin to look at experience in this way, something surprising slowly becomes visible. The thing we spend so much time protecting, this idea of a fixed self, may not be as solid as it first appears. And this leads us to a deeper question, the Buddha's question. The Buddha once pointed to something very ordinary, the body, and he asked his students a simple question. Is the body stable and reliable, or is it constantly changing? The answer was obvious, changing. But the Buddha's real insight came next. If something is always changing and cannot be fully controlled, is it reasonable to say, this is mine, this I am, this is myself? That question has echoed for more than 2,500 years because it challenges a belief most of us have never questioned. The belief that somewhere inside us there is a fixed self, a stable me that must be protected and defended. But when the Buddha looked closely at experience, he did not find a solid me. He found something very different. The body changing, feelings arising and passing, perceptions shifting, thoughts appearing without asking permission. In the Anatta Lankana Sutta, he explained the insight clearly. If the body were truly the self, we could command it. We could say, let my body always be healthy. Let it never age. Let it never die. But we cannot. The body changes. Feelings change. Thoughts change. Experience continues to move whether we want it to or not. So the Buddha came to a radical conclusion. What we call a self may not be a fixed thing at all. It may be something closer to a process, life unfolding moment by moment. This wasn't abstract philosophy. It was a description of what happens when you actually look. The static self myth. Despite this, modern life teaches us something very different. It says, know who you are, stay consistent, build a stable identity, defend it. So we say things like, this is just the kind of person I am. I've always been anxious. I'm not the type who changes. Without realizing it, we turn a moving process into a frozen identity. And this creates enormous pressure. Because life does not stay still, but we ask ourselves to. The Buddha warned gently about this habit. In the Samyutta Nikaya, he said, seeing what is not self as self, this is the cause of suffering. We take something moving and ask it to stay still. And when it inevitably moves, we call that movement failure, confusion, or anxiety. But the suffering may not be the anxiety itself. The suffering is often the belief that the anxiety is who we are. A story from the early monks. In the early Buddhist texts, there are many monks who struggled with fear. One helpful example comes from the Bhaya Bhairava Sutta, the discourse on fear and dread. In this teaching, the Buddha describes practicing alone in forest and wilderness where fear would arise suddenly. A branch would crack, an animal would move, and the body would fill with dread. Instead of running away or suppressing the fear, he made a radical decision. He observed it carefully, patiently. He said, when fear and dread come, I remained in that very posture until the fear and dread subsided. Standing, he stayed standing. Walking, he kept walking. Sitting, he remained sitting. He watched the experience directly. What he discovered became one of the core insights of Buddhist meditation. Fear behaves like a process. It arises, it builds, it peaks, and then it fades. Like a wave forming in the ocean and dissolving again. When this is seen clearly, something surprising happens. The sense of a solid, one who is afraid, begins to weaken. Instead, there is simply fear appearing in awareness. This insight is closely related to the Buddha's teachings on the Five Aggregates. According to this teaching, what we call a person is actually a dynamic collection of processes: form, rupa, the physical body; feeling, vedana, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral sensations; perception, sana, recognition and labeling; mental formation, sankhara, thoughts, emotions, reactions; and consciousness, vijnana, knowing experience. These are constantly changing, like weather patterns moving through the sky. When fear arises, it appears inside these aggregates: a tightening in the chest, a rush of unpleasant feeling, thoughts predicting danger. But nowhere inside this moving process is a fixed owner of the fear found. This is why Buddhist meditation is often described as direct observation of experience, not trying to control it, not trying to push it away, simply seeing its changing nature. In the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha summarized this approach very simply. He observes feelings as feelings, arising and passing away. When this is seen deeply, fear is no longer proof of a broken self. It is simply another event appearing in the stream of experience. And that realization is insight, not suppression.